Hey guys, Mike from Tactical Considerations. Wanted to bring you guys a video comparing my thoughts on the Trijicon RMR against the Vortex Venom. So right up front, we know there's a massive difference in cost between these two. You can literally get the Venom for probably half the price you can of the RMR unless you find it on a really good sale. But is it that much better? That's one of the questions I was hoping to answer by taking these out, shooting them. I've not had them for over a year or 2 years, so the longevity I can't talk to. A lot of talk out there that the RMR will last quite a bit longer than the Venom, but depending on what you're looking for, is this something you're going to use for a while and then get rid of, or use for a while and buy another? Because they're both going to need work. There is work that's going to need to be done on both of these optics at some point. The RMR will need to be rebuilt at some point. I think it will probably just last a little bit longer. My differences that I noticed right up front using them is the RMR is a little bit more clear. Now that optic, you see this gun is clear. When you come in here and you look through that reticle, if you guys can see that in there, when that dot is actually illuminated, it's much more crisp. It's much more clear. That glass in there is far more clear. If you know anything about optics, a lot of what it comes down to is the glass, the clarity of that dot and the clarity of the reticle in there on a magnified scope. So that's huge. Now, the Venom is not a bad sight at all. I mean, it has a market out there. It has a market for people who maybe don't want to step into the $500+ pistol optic like this. Now, there are some differences in fitment of this as well. This one obviously being on a polymer 80 and the Venom being on an actual Glock MOS. The MOS is a little bit higher because of that Glock plate that it has to mount to. It would sit a little lower if it was milled into the slide like this. The problem is there is some depth issues when milling a slide for the Vortex optic. The Vortex optic in itself is quite a bit taller on that slide. If we put these slides back to back here and line them up, you can see how much taller that Vortex optic is. The whole structure of it, the whole body of it is just taller. So it is a little bit beefier than the Trijicon, and that doesn't mean it's a more higher quality product just because it's a little larger. The Trijicon is just more streamlined, it's more subtle, it's got a little less meat to it. But this slide was specifically milled for an RMR, and this slide, as you can see, has the Glock mounting plate for the Vortex optic, but it is definitely higher. Your co-witnessing on sights on this is not going to happen unless you have those ultra tall sights. The Ameriglow sights, I know for sure on here, not going to co-witness, but what Vortex has done, if you see the back here, there is an actual lineup for it, so you just have to add the tall sight and you can line up. It's not going to be perfect, but that's what Vortex did to overcome that issue. Now, my Ameriglow suppressor height sights on this polymer 80 here with the RMR lines up fine, shoots great gun. So I think that there is a big market out here for the Vortex. I just think it's a market for people who maybe don't shoot as much, or people who just aren't looking to spend $500+ on an optic. It's a good optic. Is it a Trijicon? No, but are you spending Trijicon money? Now, for those of you people out there that are gonna use it for a daily carry, what are you gonna trust your life with? If it's a gun you have to use, me personally, rifles, I only trust aim point. I've got Vortex Spitfires, I've got Spark 2s, I've got all Strike Fire 2s, I've got some other stuff, but when it comes down to it, if I had to carry a rifle to trust my life to, it's gonna be an aim point. If I was gonna carry this polymer 80 and I had my optic choice on here, I would trust my life to the Trijicon. Trijicon's got a great name. I've got a lot of experience with Trijicon in the military and the civilian sector, and it's been really good to me. Vortex is an up and coming company. They've been around for a while now, but they've been killing it in the market with a lot of really good optics. The technology is coming, the clarity of the glass is coming, but they'll get better with time. Do I think it's a good sight? I do. Do I think it's as good as a Trijicon? No. There's a reason you're paying $500+ for that Trijicon. It's made in the USA, but it's a higher quality product. You can tell by the fit, the finish, a little bit of the the machining on it is just much smoother. The coating is much smoother as compared to the Vortex, where it's a lot more hard edges. The coating, it's a little shinier. It's a little, it just looks a little less perfect to me in my eye. It's almost two different colors between the separation point here. So there are some small details that go along with that, but overall, I mean, I think it's a good optic. I think for people just looking to maybe try an optic to see if it's something they want to spend a lot of money on, or that just want an optic for fun, great. Something you're gonna trust your life with, I'd probably go with that Trijicon. I know there was some flicker issues with that 01. This is a Series 1, but I've got that battle plate underneath there, that BattleWorks anti-flicker plate. I've never had a problem. It's never flickered once on me. I've probably got about 1,200 rounds through that RMR. So it's done good to me. This specific Vortex, I think, has about 2,500 rounds through it, and it's not having any problems. It's holding up well. I think the battery probably goes in that one a little quicker than the RMR, but a lot of that depends on the brightness. So if you guys are interested in either of these sites, I'll throw a link down below for you on some pretty good pricing I found on both the Type 1 and Type 2 Trijicon and that Vortex optic for you. Make your decision, check out the prices on them, and see which one you'd might want to go with. So let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. Hit that subscribe button up there. Send me an email, post a comment down below. What have your experiences been with the Vortex? You got the Viper, the Venom, and then what have your experiences been with the Trijicon? Stay safe and stay ready.